Hi, my name is Amy with Yours Truly Gift and Flower Shop. At Yours Truly, we help our brides build custom flower arrangements for their wedding. We also help them build bridal registries with their favorite home goods and create custom gift boxes for their bridal party. Now, I have been in the event planning industry for over 10 years, and every time I meet with a bride, they ask me the same questions. So today, I'm going to answer all of those questions for you. Let's get started. First thing that you need to do is know your must-haves. There are so many things that go into planning any event, but especially a wedding. The most important thing you can do is make a list of your priorities. What's most important? Is it choosing the perfect dress? Is it having pictures from all day with your photographer? Or maybe it's having the best party in town. Those are the things that are going to make the decisions later on down the road, so you have to make a list of your priorities first before you can do anything else in the planning process. At Yours Truly, we specialize in flowers. So one of the first questions every bride asks me is, do I do fresh flowers or silk flowers? And the question doesn't really have to do with price. Everybody thinks silk flowers are cheaper, but they're really not. What you're saving is the cost of putting them together. Now, if you know how to put flowers together, or maybe you have an aunt that does, silk flowers can be a good way to go because you can do them ahead of time. But if you have none of that skill, don't care to learn, don't want to deal with it, fresh flowers are going to give you a look like no other. They're going to look fluffy and natural and flowy. Silk flowers are always going to look more starched and stiff. So it's all going to depend on if you want to put them together and the price range that you want to be spending. From there, you can decide. Now here at Yours Truly, we have a sweet spot for fresh flowers, but we won't discriminate. We'll do flowers of all kinds. The next thing that everybody always asks me is, how many people should I invite? How many people will actually come? And this all depends with you. Now, I want you to remember that your budget will grow with every person you invite. You have to pay for a chair, a table for them to sit at, food for them to eat, booze for them to drink, if that's applicable. So you want to make sure that you're only inviting the number of people that your budget will allow. So if you have one of those partners that says, oh, come on by to our party, make sure you build that in to your budget so that you have enough food, enough drinks, enough space for each person on your list. One of the fun things about getting married is building your bridal registry. Now, everybody always wants to build these at all of the big box stores, and you need that. You need a vacuum. You need a dust mop. You need that for your house. But I want to encourage you to look at a local shop because you're going to get better stuff. You're going to get dishes that you actually like that not everybody on the block has. You're going to get home goods that are your style and your taste, and it'll just set you off to build a better home that's more uniquely for you. Here at Yours Truly, we have a full bridal registry with dishware, serveware, home goods, kitchen gadgets. And when your guests purchase from us, we wrap them, we deliver them to your local bridal shower or your wedding reception, so your guests have literally nothing to do but buy you the perfect gift. When you are booking all of the things for your weddings, the fees are one of the things that you need to account for in your budget. They all add up. Gratuity, service fees, postage. Most things that you buy might be applicable for sales tax. All of this is little percentages that will add up to your overall bottom line, and at the end could cost you over $1,000. So make sure that you're accounting for all of those fees with each vendor contract when you book them. So one of the things I honestly dread is when a bride comes in and says, I'm getting married outside, yay! Not yay, we live in Kansas, you guys. It's windy, it's hot, or it's cold, or there's storms, or it snows, or it does all of it in the same day. So let's be realistic when you plan your wedding ceremony locations or even receptions. If you're getting married outside, you need to have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. Trust me, it'll make you feel better, and then if you end up with a perfect day on the one day of the year, then lucky you, but most likely you're gonna be dealing with one of the elements, so make sure that you're prepared for all of them. The next question I get a lot is, where should I book my reception? There's a lot of different options. Some of them are traditional event venues, and by that I mean like a conference center, so they have a ballroom with tables and chairs and catering and staff. Sometimes people want to get married in a barn, and it's literally a barn. So when you book those locations, you want to remember where you're at. Even though the barn seems cheaper, don't forget that you're going to have to rent tables, chairs, dishes, silverware. You're gonna have to coordinate your caterer. If you book at the more expensive traditional venue, they have all of those things and you don't have to coordinate it. So sometimes the more expensive route can really end up being the better option depending on what your needs are. So make sure you don't count them out just because they look more expensive on paper. Do your research. People often tell me, well, I'm gonna make all the decorations myself. That would be cheaper, right? Listen, it's not. There are Pinterest boards for tutorials on how to make everything that you need for your wedding, your cake, your cookies, your flowers, but don't be fooled by the Pinterest magic. Unless you know how to make all of those things and you have time to practice, you're gonna find yourself awake at 2 in the morning with hot glue on your fingers and only 5 flowers. You have to hire the professionals to do these things for you. It'll make your life easier. You have other things to concern yourself with. Trust me, you will be a happier bride hiring the professionals to make your crafts. A lot of people ask me if they should do a first look, and I am all for traditions, like the bride not seeing the groom until she actually walks down the aisle, but there's a time and a place to break the tradition, and this might be it. Doing the first look is when a bride in her dress sees somebody of significance, the groom, her dad, her mom, ahead of time. It allows you to get all the emotions of the day out, take photos without being rushed, and then carry on with your day. Now, if you decide to do a more traditional option and want to do all of your family photos after the ceremony, after you first walk down the aisle, that's great, but make sure that you have a really well-structured timeline. Work well with your wedding planner or photographer to make this happen. And if you need help, you can always contact me and I can help you with that. And my #1 tip is to remember that you're planning a wedding day. That's just one day. The real thing that you're planning for is a lifetime of marriage. So that is the most important thing to remember. Don't get lost in the glitter of it all and forget what this day is really about. Now, if I haven't answered a question that you're really wanting to know, you can always click the link below this video, send me your question, and I'd be happy to help. Otherwise, you can come see us at yours truly in Great Bend or Lyons for all your gifts, flowers, decor needs.